Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Friday, January 23rd. I'm Michael Taylor. Good to be here with you. Are you ready for the weekend? It's coming, whether you're ready or not. Any wild plans? I know what's going to be happening Sunday. Lots of folks are going to be watching football and more football. It's going to be a wild playoff weekend. And hope you get outside, though, not just in front of the TV the whole time, outside a little bit. But before you get outside, watch the rest of the show. That's a little recommendation of mine. All right, on the show today, we got a good one for you. We're going to be welcoming Gary Russell from the PC Club. Going to be talking about all the classes they offer, the IRS services the tax filing services they offer. That's coming up right now and around the corner. And so stay tuned for that. More information coming up there. And then, of course, Sports Corner, like I talked about, football playoffs. He's going to be wrapping up the college football championship and then a preview for the playoffs this coming weekend and lots more stuff in Sports Corner. So stay tuned for all of that. Great show today. Right now, though, we want to keep you informed. We've got an important one for you. United is looking for candidates. United Board of Directors applications for 2 terms that are going to be ending in the end of this year, 2026. And so it's an opportunity to serve for a little while here on the board. They are open applications right now, and they are going to be due by February 2nd. And turn those in there. And there's not going to be an election. You're just going to be appointed on February 6th. They're going to interview all of the candidates, and they're going to find 2 candidates from the pool and appoint them to serve out the remainder of those terms that end in 2026. So there you go. Opportunity to serve on United's board. All right, let's take a look at our weather forecast, and we've got some cool temperatures in the forecast today. Probably no more rain really in the forecast, and that's just going to be cloudy to mostly cloudy, some clouds, partly cloudy, that kind of vibe for the rest of this week and into the weekend and into next week. As we start to warm up, we get back to 70 degrees on Tuesday. Okay, sunrise, sunset. We got a beautiful picture here. Look at this. Look at that tree, the pine tree at the very top there. You're going to see that red-tailed hawk sitting there at the Golden Gate Bridge. Thank you very much, Marilyn Ponce de Leon, for sending us this picture. Beautiful shot there. Sunrise this morning was 6:52. Sunset tonight is going to be 5:13. If you have a picture you'd like to send us, we'd love to see it. Email us. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we'll use it in our sunrise, sunset segment. Okay, no meetings to tell you about, so when we come back, I'll be talking to Gary Russell with the PC Club. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Abbas. For over 20 years, I've been helping families keep their smiles healthy and bright. 10 years right here in Laguna Woods. At our family-owned practice, we do it all. Preventative care, digital dentistry, and full smile makeovers, with a team you know and trust. Conveniently located at the Taj Mahal Medical Center with shuttle access for our Laguna Woods neighbors. Come experience complete care, old-fashioned service, and state-of-the-art dentistry that feels like home.
Thinking about selling your business? Well, now could be the time. Hi, I'm Tom Burns, business broker with the Deal Firm. Since 2008, I've helped business owners navigate the selling process. I've sold all kinds of businesses, from restaurants to law firms, to music schools, and even a fishing resort. I'm a business owner myself, so I understand what this process means to you. Your legacy deserves the right hands. If you're ready to sell your business, call me at the Deal Firm today to write your next chapter.
He walked down the pitch-black hallway, the kind that swallows every whisper.
Computing isn't what it used to be. At the Laguna Woods PC Club, we're committed to keeping you ahead of the curve. Our state-of-the-art workshop boasts over 30 computers, scanners, and printers. Our dynamic seminars, led by experienced volunteers, cover the latest trends in computing. Embrace the future of computing with us. The Laguna Woods PC Club.
Welcome back, everybody. We want to talk about the PC Club, and to do that, we welcome Gary Russell, as always, from the PC Club. Thanks for joining us.
Good to be here. How are you?
I'm well. So tell us a little bit, for people who aren't familiar, I always like to start off that way. What's the PC Club all about? You guys cover a lot. It's not just PCs. You also do Macs.
That's actually, the Mac is part of the Mac Club. But the 3 primary things we do are the Learning Center, where we teach a lot of classes. And then right next door is the workshop or the lab, where you can come in and use the resources and get some help. And then third is the tax program that is in full swing right now.
I was going to say that's probably gearing up, right?
Yes, it is.
Getting close to that kind of stuff there going on, sir. So you guys do a lot of stuff. The AI classes are a big thing now too, right?
They are, yeah. And we've got a couple started already, and I think it's going to expand from there. We got a great instructor who will teach you about ChatGPT, but also about generative AI in general. Both of his classes were completely filled, and he does those every couple of months.
Are people using, their seniors using it the same way a lot of people do, just kind of ask questions and general information? And are they also teaching folks, hey, this is how you can actually take advantage of AI and what it can really, how you can really serve you besides acting like a 411 call?
Yeah, exactly, right. So part of it is just plain research, and it's great at that. But the real advantages is the conversational tone and the ability to go deeper on any one subject. So one of the things we teach is it's as good as the prompts. If you give it good prompts and you give it detailed and constraints, you're going to get some really solid answers back. And the number of uses is almost just too much. It's incredible all the things it can do, from basic research to helping you write a book to a blog post to a presentation to music, all of it.
Now, you've been following closely along with what's going on in the community with Ting and the installation and all those kinds of things. What's the latest going on there? What have you seen as some of the? Have you had an opportunity to use it? Is it in your community yet?
Well, I've been testing a little bit,
Okay.
but I wear my ambassador shirt today. Yeah, the installations are going well. They're on schedule. They're got my installation map here. They're done gate 1, now in 2, 3, 4, moving into 5, and they'll just move on through the community until we're done. Things are going better, things are going well, and we're getting questions, but it's starting to tamp down a little bit. I think the classes are helping, the ambassadors are helping, and Ting's own resources are helping folks get acclimated.
And with Ting comes the new kind of way to watch television, and that includes having a smart TV.
That's right.
And that can be a challenge for some folks who kind of, hey, I was raised on the antenna. I had to get up and change my own channel.
Yeah.
And so we've had this evolution of
That's
learning
right.
in terms of figuring out smart TVs. You have classes for that as well?
Yeah, we do. We have a basic home networking and streaming class where I get into the Ting aspects. And then I'm adding an advanced networks class to teach about like mesh extenders. Not everybody needs one, but some do. So we'll go through that. We'll go through how to use the Eero app a little bit. And then starting in March, we're going to tack on a third class on DirecTV. And we didn't want to do the DirecTV part too soon because it's not coming till August.
Right.
But so we want it to be fresh in people's minds, but we'll be adding that, and then we're just going to cycle through those classes almost every month.
Now, as Ting comes into more and more homes, and people are starting to have to figure it out and kind of do the transition, are you guys getting more volume in terms of questions, or people wanting to come to classes and seminars?
Oh yeah, the classes have gone from there were 6 people in to there's close to 30 now. And I think that's just a reflection of where we are in the village now with it coming online. And so we're seeing some of the same questions. We try to get out in front of it as well and answer those, in line with the classes as we go.
Now, for folks who just avoided technology, and that some people just I wish I had a rotary phone still kind of thing. Are there basic computer classes you guys also offer in terms of just it's hard to understand just what this is all about, the platforms, how files work, how to do whatever?
Yeah, exactly, and that's one of the challenges, but also the opportunity. Shown in the back there are some of the classes that we do, and it ranges from the basics. And there aren't many, but some folks are still wanting to know, how do I use a computer? How do I use a mouse? The basic stuff like that. The Mac Club does the same thing with the Mac products. To just cloud management, file, passwords, how to set up Gmail, things like that. And then on the sort of front end of the wave of AI. So we try to cover the gamut. We're always soliciting our members and our residents for what it is that they'd like to learn that perhaps we're not doing yet. But we try to keep a good balance.
And you guys have a little schedule for January. Some of these dates have already happened, but you got on the 23rd, you have Excel functions. If you want to use Excel files, so just put some basic stuff down, do some basic budgeting or some taxes, and as those are coming up. And so lots of great stuff coming up. How to manage the website and look through there. And so a lot of things are just kind of the basics on people may not feel comfortable exploring or feel comfortable reaching out, you guys can walk them through it, right?
Yeah, we do. And all of our instructors are great, and they know how to keep things simple for most all the residents. You have a spectrum of folks that are in there, some real basic, some will surprise you with a real advanced question, and we usually are able to cover it. But we do know how to, I think, address this community.
And you guys have a lot of members in your club and you can tell that from just the names on the instructor. It's a different name for every class, right? So you guys have a lot of people who are kind of step up and really want to help others here in the community.
Yeah, our instructors are fantastic. They're the engine of our club, and sometimes they'll just come up with ideas on their own, and we'll let them go, see how it resonates with people, see what the attendance is. And other times they're more responsive to a request that we've gotten. Hey, could you guys do a class on this? And we'll do that. So it goes both ways.
The other big thing that you're gearing up later this month, you can start filing your taxes, and you guys do that service for folks here in the community every year. How is that? You need more volunteers? Is it going to be anywhere different this year? Usually it's in this building, right?
It is in this building. We now have the old gym that we'll use for sort of staging things. You make an appointment, come in, do an intake, and your taxes are prepared. Usual thing of if there's any questions. We have close to 60 volunteers who are being trained on the latest IRS tax code. And so...
And there were big changes to the code from last year to this year.
There sure are. We just had a general meeting where Barbara Harris, who's the village coordinator for all this, went through the latest big changes, and there are some. And so it's a great program. It's free to everyone. And we did over 1,500 last year, and probably will again.
Okay, great. And people can just go online on the PC Club and register for that?
Right. There's a new button on the top of the homepage that says make a tax appointment. Or you can come to the 3rd floor of the community center here and go talk to the greeter and make an appointment that way.
Now, the folks who are doing the tax preparation, are they, a lot of them former accountants or current accountants and those kinds of things, or are they just kind of...
Not all. They get trained, right?
Yeah.
If you have a desire, we'll get you trained,
right,
and then you can participate.
How complicated can my taxes be if I want to come in there? You guys can do the basics, but if there's a certain level, you might say, hey, this isn't for us.
There are certain rules and constraints, and when you check in, we'll tell you that.
Okay.
And otherwise, you'd be surprised just how wide the dynamics are of what you're able to get done.
Now, as you look back at Ting, and I know you're the ambassador, what are some of the things that you think are the biggest changes as Ting kind of starts to come online for people to adjust to and understand, hey, you're going to, instead of doing this the old way, you're going to have to do this the new way?
Right. Well, I always like to start with what's the same. So basically, it's just a fatter pipe, an internet coming in with fiber all the way in. And so a lot of what you used to do, you're just still going to do the same way, right? You will have to connect through Wi-Fi, and we'll show you how to do that. And then what's really going to be different is the way you watch TV, right? If you're used to Channel 4 being NBC, that's going to be a change for you. But most people are already streaming TV with, Hulu or YouTube TV, and so that's going to be somewhat familiar. But it is going to be a little change for some folks, and that's what we're going to help them get through.
And so you have a number of classes lined up. Kind of walk me through some of the classes you guys are going to do. You have a January one, you have a February, you have a March.
We do. Every month we're going to be doing between 2 and 3 classes. So we're sort of picking up the pace because it's hot and heavy.
You just had one on home networks, and now on February 6th, you're going to have home networks and streaming with Ting, so that's a kind of a repeat.
I'm repeating that one, and then going into the advanced, which will get into mesh networks and how to navigate around the Eero app if you ever need to.
That's where you lost me. All right. Gary Russell from the PC Club, thank you always for coming in. We appreciate all the information and all the work you guys do here in the community.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
There's been a huge amount of progress in all areas of cancer research generally over the last 20, 30 years. Unbelievable progress. Still not there. Still lots to do. No matter what cancer you have, we're working on it at Hoag. It's not a pie in the sky hope. It's a real hope. I'm still right there in the trenches as a treating oncologist and as a cancer scientist as well. I want to be part of conquering cancer.
Hello and welcome to this Friday's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and it's a wonderful time of year to be a sports fan, so I'll dive right in with stories from all across the sports world. Starting in college football, the season has officially come to an end, and it went out with a bang. On Monday, the college football national championship between the top-ranked Indiana Hoosiers and the underdog Miami Hurricanes kicked off. This was a roller coaster game from start to finish. This game began as a defensive battle, and after several drives ended in punts, Indiana finally got on the board with a field goal in the first quarter. Midway through the second quarter, after a 14-play, 85-yard drive, tight end Riley Nowakowski ran up the middle for a score and the first touchdown of the game. After a missed field goal by Miami right before the end of the second quarter, the game headed into halftime with Indiana up 10-0. The second half is when the floodgates opened and the scoring finally began. Running back Mark Fletcher Jr. got the Hurricanes on the board when he ripped off a 57-yard touchdown run, cutting the lead to 10-7. A few minutes later, on 4th and 1, Miami set up to punt away from their own 16-yard line after another failed drive. That punt was blocked, and Indiana recovered the loose ball in the end zone, scoring a wild touchdown and growing their lead to 17-7. To start the fourth quarter, Fletcher Jr. would score yet again for Miami, and in the blink of an eye, we had a 17-14 ball game. On the following drive, the Hoosiers were facing 4th down on Miami's 12-yard line. In an incredible display of determination, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza scrambled, broke tackles, and dove into the end zone to build Indiana's lead to 24-14 with 9 minutes remaining in the game. Plays like that are why Mendoza won the Heisman Trophy a few weeks back. Miami wasn't done just yet, though. Quarterback Carson Beck dished off a quick pass to motioning Malachi Toney, who ran through and spun past defenders en route to a 22-yard touchdown. Just like that, Miami cut the lead to just 3 points. After another Indiana field goal, Miami got the ball back, down 6 points, with 1 minute and 42 seconds remaining. Carson Beck and the Miami offense took the field, hoping to pull off a game-winning drive and a stunning upset in the biggest stage. On the 5th play of the drive, though, Beck's pass was intercepted by Jamari Sharp, and the game was over, with Indiana winning the national title 27-21. With head coach Curt Cignetti at the helm, Indiana finished 16-0, matching a perfect season win total last compiled by Yale in 1894, and brought home its first national title in program history. Indiana is one of football's oldest programs, with its first game dating all the way back to 1887, and that history hasn't necessarily been pretty. From September 2012 until November 2025, the Indiana University football program had the most all-time losses with 715. In addition, the Hoosiers hold the 5th worst all-time winning percentage, about 42%, and the 2nd worst for power conference teams. Since 1895, only 6 of the 25 head coaches have left Indiana with a winning record, the last being Bo McMillan in 1947. All this to say, it's been a long 140 years for Indiana, but they finally made their way to the biggest stage and brought home the long-sought-after national championship trophy. Monday wasn't the only exciting football of the past week, actually quite the opposite. On Saturday and Sunday, we had the NFL playoff divisional rounds, and boy did they live up to the hype. Starting out the weekend on Saturday, the Buffalo Bills traveled to Denver, Colorado to take on the top-ranked Broncos. This was a back-and-forth game all day long. The lone touchdown of the first half came on a trick play, where quarterback Bo Nix found offensive lineman Frank Crum open in the flat to put the Broncos ahead. It looked like the Broncos would head into halftime with just a 7-point lead. That is, until Josh Allen fumbled the ball with very little time remaining in the half, and the Broncos recovered, miraculously, in field goal range. A kick straight through the uprights by Will Lutz, and the Broncos now had a 10-point lead at half. The following few drives were all Buffalo, and even though Josh Allen had thrown an interception and lost 3 fumbles at this point, the Bills still had a shot to tie or even win this game. After an 8-play drive, kicker Matt Prater drilled a field goal as time expired, and the game headed into overtime, all tied up at 30-30. In the overtime period, the Broncos got the ball first, but couldn't get the offense going and were forced to punt. Josh Allen and the Bills offense took the field, looking to complete a game-winning drive and move on to the AFC Championship game. However, on a deep shot, Allen's throw was intercepted by Jaquan McMillan, and the Broncos suddenly had life. After a 75-yard drive, Will Lutz came back on the field to kick an easy 23-yard field goal to win the game and send the Broncos to the AFC Championship for the first time in 10 years. His kick went straight through the uprights, and the celebration commenced for the Broncos. However, that celebration did not last very long. Within a few hours of the end of the game, the awful news began to circulate. Broncos quarterback Bo Nix fractured his ankle on the final drive of the game, essentially ending his postseason. Now, the Broncos have to continue their quest for a Super Bowl without their star quarterback. Backup Jarrett Stidham will take the reins for the Bronco offense from this point on. Following that game, we had the third matchup of the season between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. I won't spend too much time on this game since there isn't much to report. From quite literally the opening kickoff, this game was all Seattle. Rashid Shaheed returned the opening kickoff 95 yards for a touchdown for Seattle, and this was a sign of what was to come. Running back Kenneth Walker accounted for 116 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Seahawks absolutely dominated the rival 49ers, 41-6. Between fumbles, interceptions, and overall lack of offensive production, San Francisco just flat out did not have a good night. Speaking of turnovers, on Sunday, Drake May threw 3 touchdown passes in the snow and rain, Marcus Jones returned one of C.J. Stroud's 4 interceptions for a touchdown, and the Patriots defeated the Houston Texans 28-16 to advance the AFC Championship game for the first time in 7 years. Weather definitely played a factor, and there were 8 total turnovers throughout this game. Now, in his first year with the Patriots, head coach Mike Vrabel is just 1 game away from a Super Bowl appearance. To end the weekend, we had another shootout matchup. The Los Angeles Rams traveled to Chicago to take on the Bears, and if you thought the weather in the previous game was bad, this one took the cake. The temperature was in the teens at kickoff, but with 15 to 20 mile-per-hour winds, it dropped to 0 and below at times. Similar to the Broncos and Bills matchup, this game sat in a stalemate for a pretty long time. To start the final quarter, the score was all tied up at just 10-10. Matthew Stafford then led the Rams on a 14-play, 91-yard drive that ate up over 6 minutes of game time and ended with a 5-yard touchdown run by Kyron Williams to take the 17-10 lead. I said it last week, but if you've watched any Bears game this season, you know not to count them out until the final whistle blows, and this game was no different. With just 14 seconds remaining, the Bears were down 7 with the ball at the Rams' 14-yard line. It was 4th down, so their entire season came down to just one final play. Quarterback Caleb Williams took the snap and was immediately under pressure from the Rams defense. Williams drifted all the way back to the 43-yard line and with 3 defenders in his face, jumped and threw up a prayer to the end zone. That prayer was miraculously answered as one of the most incredible throws I've ever seen fell complete to tight end Cole Kmet in the back of the end zone, tying the game and forcing overtime. Overtime of this game went weirdly similar to the Broncos-Bills game. The Rams got the ball first, couldn't score, then Caleb Williams threw an interception, giving the Rams the ball right back. After 10 plays, the Rams were in field goal range, and Harrison Mevis' kick was good, ending the Bears' magical run and sending the Rams to the NFC Championship game. Now, we have just 4 teams remaining, and only 2 teams will advance to the Super Bowl. Both games will be on Sunday, and the action will start at 12 p.m. on CBS when the Patriots travel to Colorado to face off with the Broncos. Then, at 3:30 p.m. on Fox, the Rams will need to hit the road once again, this time heading to Seattle to compete with divisional rival Seahawks. A quick weird fun fact, the AFC matchup features head coaches Sean Payton and Mike Vrabel, and the NFC matchup has coaches Mike McDonald and Sean McVay. So, all 4 of the remaining coaches, 2 are Mike and 2 are Sean. If I was a team with a head coach vacancy, I'd look for people named Sean or Mike. With that said, some head coaching spots have been filled and some more have opened. The Bills fired head coach Sean McDermott, the Falcons hired Kevin Stefanski, the Chargers hired Mike McDaniel to be their offensive coordinator, the Titans hired Robert Salah, and the Giants' deal with John Harbaugh became official. The Ravens, Steelers, Cardinals, Raiders, Bills, and Browns are still on the hunt for their next head coach. Outside of football, the Australian Open of tennis for both men and women is underway. The tournaments are still pretty early in the rounds, so a ton of players remain. As the tournament progresses, though, I'll be sure to update you on which players continue moving through the ranks. All of the matches lead up to the championship rounds in early February. For the first time since 2021, a numbered UFC event will not air on pay-per-view in the US this Saturday when UFC 324 comes to Las Vegas in the first event of a new broadcasting era for the MMA worldwide leader. UFC's new 7-year media rights deal with Paramount takes the product off of pay-per-view domestically and onto the streaming network Paramount+. And the first fight of the year is set to be a massive one. In the main event, Justin Gaethje and British star Paddy Pimblett will square off for the interim lightweight championship belt. This event will also feature some pretty big-name prelim matches. Former women's strawweight champion Rose Namajunas also looks to hold on to her position in the women's flyweight division when she takes on Natalia Silva. Don't miss out on any of the action this Saturday on Paramount+. With all of that said, enjoy all of the football, tennis, UFC, basketball, and hockey that this weekend has to offer. Come right back for more news, updates, and highlights from all across the sports world next week. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.
The Laguna Woods History Center, the only purpose-built local history archive in Orange County, has been capturing the legacy of our community since 1977. As a nonprofit dedicated to preserving today for tomorrow, we collect, conserve, and share the history of Laguna Woods Village, the city of Laguna Woods, and the surrounding Orange County region. Step into the past and connect with the present at your community archive. Whether you're curious about local milestones, searching for historical documents, or exploring treasured artifacts, the History Center is your gateway to the stories that shape Laguna Woods. The Laguna Woods History Center is a separate building adjacent to the Village Library. We are open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. or by appointment. Visit us and find your place in history.
Pearl 32 Dental, we redefine your dental experience with comfort, technology, and care. Led by Dr. Rezai and Dr. Jawad Manish, we specialize in patient-first dentistry. We do permanent crowns in just one visit with our same-day CEREC technology. From smile makeovers to laser therapy and implants, we blend artistry with innovation. We accept payment plans, or you can check out our 3-tier membership for exclusive savings. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your appointment today.
We were just talking about Harold Lamont in the studio about how it's kind of a cult classic, but it's really a fantastic film. It's a dark comedy. I think you're going to like it. Harold Lamont is our Friday movie. It's brought to us by RadNet. It's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. Has a great ending, too. As dark as it is and as wild as it is, has a really great ending. A young, rich, and obsessed with death, Harold finds himself changed forever when he meets lively septuagenarian Maud at a funeral. It is a wild movie. You're going to like this one. If you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it, just revisit it because it's a great one. And then on Saturday, The Godfather Part 3. That one's brought to us by Advanced Ear Care. It's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. It follows the Godfather, Michael Corleone, now in his 60s as he seeks to free his family from crime and find a suitable successor to his empire. And of course, nothing goes as planned for poor Michael. There you go. That's our Friday and Saturday movies for us. All right, let's take a check of the weather forecast before we head out. And we got some cool temperatures. It's going to be some nice football weather for the weekend for folks who are going to be watching the playoffs, and I'll be among them. 62 today, and we're going to have a slight bump up in temperatures tomorrow on Saturday, and then 67, 68, and 70 on Tuesday. Nice temperatures. Mostly cloudy to partly cloudy, kind of a mix of clouds for the rest of the 5-day forecast here. All right, folks, tomorrow on the program, we're going to have Adapt to It with Leslie Gabola is going to be here. And Girls Just Want to Have Fun. It's a new club right here in the Village. And so we're going to find out all about that tomorrow on the program. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. I'm Michael Taylor. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.